What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Now, in today's EntitledParents video, I've got an absolutely incredible story for you. A kid in a school gets a detention from a teacher genuinely for being gay. My friend got a detention for being gay. This story happened earlier today, and it's so stupid that I have to share it. So, I've got a friend who is in the school chorus with me. To respect his privacy, I'm not going to say his name, so we will call him T. Alright, I'll call him Tom. I will also be calling the entitled horse girl HG, and the entitled parent of this story, of course, EP. Now, Tom is a really nice guy. He's a really good singer too. We bonded over being on the chorus together, and eventually he got comfortable enough to tell me he was gay. I supported him, and I treated him exactly like I did before, because that's how it should work. Now, Tom is a grade above me, so I didn't know about this until it was time for choir practice to start. We are halfway through warm-ups when someone finally calls attention to his absence. Tom usually tells me when he won't be there, so I was questioning it too. But now I was really thinking about it, so I go to text him. The conversation goes like this. Hey Tom, are you coming to chorus? Yeah, I'll be there in a bit. I've got detention. Really? Oh, mind telling me why? Some girl got me in trouble. How? She saw the pride pins on my backpack and asked if I was gay. When I told her yes, she freaked out. Homophobe? Yep. She ended up going to the teacher and telling her that she wasn't comfortable around me. The teacher said to just stay away, then she started making more of a ruckus and fighting with me. Dang, so how is the detention involved? Eventually, the teacher actually came over and asked why we were fighting. When I said that she was being homophobic and rude, the teacher looked at her and she put on a show of fake tears and boo-hoo poor me. I got in trouble for fueling the fight and she got nothing. Dang, that is messed up. Yeah. So I told the choir teacher that Tom has a detention and that he will be a bit late. The choir teacher asks if I know why he has a detention, and I show him the text. Now, what you need to understand about the choir at our school is that everyone is either gay, lesbian, bi, pan, identifies as something else, or is straight and just supports it. We're basically a little LGBTQ+ angst club. Our choir teacher, of course, supports the LGBTQ+, and so he literally rallies us all up and we all go down to the detention room. He starts negotiating with the detention monitor while we all go and talk to Tom. Eventually, the entitled girl and her entitled mum come into the office. The principal comes in with them and says, "Which one of you is Tom?" To which Tom raised his hand. The principal says he needs to apologize to the girl for slapping her and threatening to R-word her, and that if he does, she won't suspend or expel him. To which all hell breaks loose. What? That's insane. He didn't do that, I say. The principal says to me, then why is he in detention? Because she was being homophobic, and when he defended himself, he got in trouble for fueling the fight. My choir teacher backed me up. Yeah, come on, Tom wouldn't say something like that. I think there is some exaggeration on one side of the story. Yes, he did, said the girl. I just want him to apologize to my daughter. Whatever happened, happened. I'm not apologizing to your daughter because she was homophobic. That's it. Principal, I want this boy out of all her classes and set up for an expulsion hearing. The principal says, yes, he could be set up for an expulsion hearing if we do find these claims true. This behavior isn't acceptable. Apologize for threatening to R-word my daughter, and this can all be forgotten. At this point, Tom and I both snap. Who the heck do you think you are? Tom would never say something like that, and I know it. I'm literally gay. I wouldn't want to R-word her. I don't even find her attractive. I like guys. The entitled mum hears that he is gay and goes ballistic. She goes on a tangent about how being gay is a sin, how we're all going to hell, and how God and Jesus will never forgive us. It's now full of overlapping arguments. Tom and I arguing with the entitled parent, the choir teacher and the principal are fighting, and the rest of the choir is fighting with the entitled girl. Shut up, I scream. It goes quiet. Everyone who was arguing looks over at me. I don't want to listen to this rubbish anymore. I have texts of what took place, we have a teacher's account, likely multiple students' accounts, and personal relations. I know Tom would never even think of threatening that, and the rest of the choir knows that as well. There were other people present during this fight, why don't you ask them what happened? At this point, I'm crying, because I'm just one of those people who cries when they feel any strong emotion. Alright, how about we all take a breather, says the principal. I like the idea. Tom, what other kids saw the fights? Tom lists off a bunch of kids who were in the class at the time, and the principal goes off to call their houses. Everyone is in a tizzy. I'm crying, Tom is upset that this went so far and is hugging me, our choir teacher is fuming, and the rest of the choir don't even know what to think. As I'm looking around, I just see the colour from the entitled girl's face drain, because she knows we will call her bluff. About half an hour later, the principal comes back, and straight up suspends the girl. And you know it was serious, because at our school, the principal usually gives it a week and investigates before even considering suspension. Apparently, a bunch of kids who were there during the argument said it was completely on the entitled girl, and that Tom had never even mentioned the R word, or even slapped her. The entitled mum loses it, and goes on about how we can't suspend her daughter, how specifically me and Tom are demons from hell plaguing their existence, and she only actually stopped when our choir teacher threatened to call the police. The entitled mum and her daughter start leaving. As they are leaving, Tom whispers something to me, and as they leave, just to be petty, we both yell, "Gay pride, baby!" At that point, Tom might as well have served the detention, and we didn't get to ever sing any songs, but hey, we fixed it. Yeah, I'm sure at this point you guys wouldn't mind sacrificing just one choir session if it means that you've put homophobia in its place. I really can't believe that this thing is still going on in 2021. I mean, come on now. That was a thing, hundreds of years ago and even 50 years ago. We're past that point now. Can we not just move on? Are people not, educated enough to realize that being gay is totally normal and natural, and it's not someone's choice? There's nothing you can do about it. If you don't like it, keep your opinion to yourself. No one wants to hear it. I've got to say though, great job to not only your entire choir, but also the choir teacher as well, hearing what the detention was for, the reason behind it, and saying, you know what is this? What is that? That is a load of rubbish, if I can get my words out. We're going to go and do something about it. And they really did. So, good on the lads, I'll say. And well done for standing up for LGBTQ people and just your friend in general, because that is disgusting. Yes, maybe he did cause the fight, by the way. I'm not saying that he didn't, but if someone's being homophobic to you, I think you're well within your right to say, nah, I'm not standing for that. Wouldn't even mind if he had slapped her. I think she deserved it, the cow. Now moving on to our second story, my dad is a leech. It all started in 2017 when my mum died of cancer and I had to move to my dad's place with his new partner and my 1-year-old stepsister. The same year my grandma died, so staying with grandpa and grandma was sadly out of the question. When my mum died, I was finishing primary school and started culinary high school. That's when I started getting a scholarship and a pension after my mum. My dad promised me that I would get my credit card so I can get cash if I need it, which later I found out was a big fat lie. The whole time, my dad was pulling all of the scholarship and the pension off of my bank accounts. The same year of high school, but in 2018, we got into a huge argument, and I'd had enough of it. Even as a child when my mum and dad were still together, he was a monster. Always yelling at everyone, hitting me, coming home late, drunk, and probably high for all I know. The same was happening now, but it was way worse. Still hitting me, yelling at me, but what was new was that it happened way more often, and he was also threatening to kill me. And trust me, he's insane enough to do that and not regret it. Anyways, after one fatal fight, the next day I went to the school consultant and told her what happened. Good on you. She advised me to go to a crisis center, and so I did. Thankfully, I still had my girlfriend to comfort me when I needed it the most at the moment. She was a true guardian angel. No, she's not dead, we just broke up. When the school year ended and summer vacation began, it cooled down enough between me and my dad so that we went to a trailer camp near the sea. But when school began again, so did the constant abuse, and I also went to a youth home where I still am today. During my stay at the youth home, my dad continued to take all of my cash off of my bank accounts, except the $3,000 which was frozen. Whenever I brought up the fact that I don't want him taking my cash anymore, which I did many times, he always got annoyed and told me that I owe him, when I didn't, since by law, he has to take care of me without me owing anything to him. which he only did for less than a year before I went to the crisis center and then the youth home. 2.5 years ago, I calculated from my banknotes how much he took. Well, basically stole from me. It was over 28 freaking thousand. My stepmom always told me not to worry and wait, that karma will get him. Well, his time ran out because I'm going to take matters into my own hands. Let's skip to today. I asked for a copy of my mum's will from the courts and got it 3 days ago. Today, I went to her bank and asked if they could wire the money to my account. I have full control of it now, since I turned 18 last year. The bank teller said that it won't be a problem and he would gladly do that. Little did we know, actually I suspected it, but there's still that small sliver of hope in the back of your head, that someone had taken all of the money out already and closed down the accounts. My mum left me the $3,000 that was frozen and the $8,800 that was on her accounts, and now I have nothing. Only the scholarship and pension that I get every month. I could have had over $40,000 by now, since I save a big part of the scholarship and pension every month. The bank teller told me to take this to court, since he can't see or even tell me, even if he could, who had taken all the cash and closed down the accounts. If I find out it was my dad, which there's a high chance that it was, I won't even be surprised or disappointed. I won't even be sad. I'm already used to that sort of stuff. All I want to know is if any one of you reading this is good with researching laws and all of that. If it was him, I'm planning on taking him to court, but I don't know if it's worth it and how much I'll get from it, if anything at all. I'm from Slovenia and would appreciate all of your help. I'll keep you updated if I find anything new. Thanks in advance. Now, luckily guys, I'm actually coming to this post a few days after it was written, and the comments on Reddit have been incredible, and OP has left us this little update. I've gotten all the necessary paperwork from the courts about my mother's will. I've also called the social worker that was overlooking me when all this took place, as well as notified the caretaker that's overlooking me in the youth home. I found out that the caretaker was classmates with my mum's lawyer, who's also a family friend. We made a plan to have a meeting, the caretaker, lawyer, social worker, my grandpa and me, so we can discuss the problem. After the meeting, we're going to contact the courts so we can get information from my mother's bank on who withdrew the money, so we can have more proof against my dad's. The only thing that I'm missing is all of the bank statements from my bank and the last statement from my mum's bank. The wheels are in motion and there's no stopping them. I hope everyone is doing well and taking care. I love all of you and thank you for showing me so much support. Alright, so this guy asked for help, and honestly, I'm going to put the comment up on screen now. This is just one of a number, literally hundreds of comments that other Redditors have left on this person's post. Giving me advice, general, well wishes and just support. You can see the effects that comments like this that you can see on screen have on people like OP. It's just like one of the reasons why I love Reddit so much, and the community is just incredible on certain subreddits. Look at the support. It's insane. Legends, all of you that commented on this, that watch my videos, because I know a lot of you have come across from Reddit, and a lot of you from YouTube have also gone on to Reddit and get involved with stuff like this and just give amazing support. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know what I could offer because I don't really know the laws in terms of, how would you even go about that in a court case, but it seems like it would definitely be worth it. I mean, your dad has stolen so much money from you, $28,000. Even if you have to spend like a decent amount on lawyers, if you make that money back, which I'm sure you would, given it's been unlawfully taken from you, it's definitely worth it. And although I don't know the specifics of how exactly you go about doing that sort of stuff, people like the comment that I showed on screen clearly do, or at least can give you some sort of advice. So yeah, great stuff. Amazing to see the support from the community, and yeah, great story with hopefully a good outcome. I'll keep you guys updated if there is another update. Anyway guys, that is going to do it for this episode of r/EntitledParents. Couple of very interesting stories there. The first one shocking, the second one less shocking, but hopefully both are going to have great outcomes in the end when justice is served. If you are new around here and you enjoyed that and you want to see more from me right away, then check out a couple of videos on screen. Both of them are fantastic and my current subscribers love them. And if you aren't a current subscriber, hit this button. It's here. Yeah, hit it. Hit it now. Bye.